Independence Day. Passover at the capital city of Jerusalem was bursting with religious ceremony and national fervor. This holiday marked our people being freed from slavery. This week marked when the one God named I Am showed up through Moses to kick ass and free his people, decimating their oppressor's superiority named greatness, dominating their pantheon's power and control all the way up and down the Nile and into the Red Sea. Drop the mic. In 29 AD, Jesus made a mess. His own 12-year-old voice echoing in his memory, "Didn't you know I had to be in my Father's house?" Those watching him thought it curious when he started to pick up stray strips of trash off the ground, until it became visible that he had constructed a whip. He tore through the governmental and religious authorities, flipping tables and files while chasing the vendors out with a whip. With the sound of coins and hooves scattering, men and animals screaming in fear and offense, Jesus disciplined everyone there. "Take these things out of here. Don't make my Father's house your storefront." The leaders and experts on God fought back. "Who gave you permission to do this?" He retorted. "Destroy this temple and in 3 days I will raise it up." Later on that night, a member of the nation's top governmental council, Nicodemus, snuck off to ask Jesus some questions. Jesus introduced, "I tell you truth. One cannot see God's kingdom without being born again from above." He asked how people are supposed to be born twice and started saying something about his elderly mom's birthing process. And when Jesus clarified Nicodemus' search for a good question, "I tell you truth. Without being born of water and spirit, no one can enter God's kingdom. That which is born of flesh is flesh. That which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Don't marvel because I said to you, you must be born again. The wind blows where it wants to, and you hear its sound, but you don't know where it comes from or where it's going. So is everyone who is born of the Spirit." Nicodemus verified that he had no idea what Jesus was talking about when he stumbled over figurative and literal truths like any of us who have followed him for any time at all. Jesus asked, "Are you Israel's teacher and you don't understand these things? I tell you truth. We speak about what we know and testify about what we have seen, and you don't believe us. If I have told you earthly things and you don't believe, how will you believe if I tell you eternal things? No one has gone up into eternal heaven except for the one who came down out of heaven, the Son of Man, who is in eternity. Like Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, in the same way the Son of Man must be lifted up. The one who believes in him does not die, but has eternal life." "For God loved the world so much that he gave his only Son, so that anyone who believes in him doesn't have to die, but has eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to judge the world, rather so that the world should be saved through him. Whoever believes in him is not judged. He who does not believe has already been judged, because he has not believed in the name of the one and only Son of God. This is the judgment. Light has come into the world, and people love darkness rather than the light, because their actions were evil. Everyone who does evil hates the light and doesn't come to the light, or else what they do would be exposed. But whoever does the truth comes to the light, so that his actions may be revealed to have been done in God." Jesus and his followers left the city, settled somewhere in Judea. He spent his days there with his crew, baptizing more and more followers. They were washing people who were turning from knowingly doing wrong, all the while the one who John identified as stronger than I and whose shoes I'm not worthy to loosen, and the one who was going to baptize in God's Spirit was right downriver. And John publicly transitioned his authority with what could be our motto: He must increase, I must decrease.